welcome everybody. Welcome. It is Thursday. The weekend is almost here. And today, if you're a shitty Cowboys fan or a shitty Eagles fan, today the NFL kicks off, but we all know the real season starts tomorrow. And we all know who the next Super Bowl champ is going to be, and it won't be an Eagle, it won't be a Cowboy, it won't be a 49er, it won't be a Minnesota Viking. It will be a Kansas City Chief. It's the facts. When you dominate this long, we're talking 6 years of dominance, 6 AFC conference championships, been to 5 of the last 6 Super Bowls, the only other team being the Bengals, 3-2 in those 5 games. I think this is going to be the final year of that run. You can correct me if you don't agree. By all means, comment down below. But I think it's going to be that way. I think it's going to happen. It's inevitable. Kind of like Thanos. I am inevitable. You know, that's just how I see it. But thank you for subscribing. Thank you for listening. Thank you for jumping on. Today, though, we're not going to talk about any videos. There's not going to be any debunking or anything like that. We're going to get into the nuts and bolts of the show, which is basically stories that I think are interesting. And we're going to start with the Associated Press. A House committee investigating the Jeffrey Epstein case has withdrawn the subpoena for Robert Mueller. The House Oversight Committee last month scheduled Mueller to appear Tuesday for a deposition, but the subpoena has been withdrawn after the panel learned of an unspecified health issue that precluded him from being able to testify, according to the committee. New York Times, citing a statement from the family of Robert Mueller and people close to him, reported Sunday night that Mueller has been diagnosed with Parkinson's in 2021 and has difficulty speaking. Mueller was appointed FBI director in 2001. He was the FBI director appointed in 2001 by then George Bush and shepherded the Bureau's evolution from into a national security and intelligence gathering agency. He held the job for more than a decade, resigning in 2013 and 2017. He was tasked as the special counsel in the Donald Trump-Russia collusion election thing. His team, over the course of the next 2 years, revealed efforts by Russia to interfere in the election on the behalf of Donald Trump and secure criminal charges and convictions against multiple Trump associates, but it did not find sufficient evidence to prove that Moscow swayed the election, which is why they said in the statement didn't exonerate Trump, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he has rarely spoken about the investigation since its conclusion, but did testify before Congress in 2019 and an appearance that drew attention because of the sometimes halting manner of his testimony. Last month, James Comer, the chairman of the Oversight Committee, issued subpoenas to Mueller and half of a dozen other former law enforcement and government officials to testify about the years-long investigation of Jeffrey Epstein, whose August 2019 death following his arrest on sex trafficking was determined to be a suicide. He was the FBI director during the earlier Justice Department investigation into Epstein that resulted in a non-prosecution agreement allowing the wealthy financier to plead guilty to state charges in Florida. It was not clear whether he would have any knowledge or details about the agreement or the case regardless as the head of the FBI. And, of course, we all know that Parkinson's is neurological and robs people their ability to function, move, speak, things like that. So he's got Parkinson's. Pray for his health and his journey. But as far as the rest of it, it's whatever. I mean, this whole Epstein thing is just a waste of it's just a waste of time. I did an episode a while back about it where it was just like, who gives a shit, really? I mean, in the grand scheme of things, Does it matter that much? No, it really doesn't. Obviously, people have been pressuring the government to go further with it. I don't know what you're going to find, or does it even matter? Let's just say, for the sake of argument, Trump is in there doing funny business. Let's say Bill Clinton's in there doing funny business. Let's say, Dan Rather's in there doing funny business. Whatever. Does it move what is it going to do for the peace? I guess for the peace of mind of the citizens to know that everybody was a pedophile. They all get prosecuted. They all get put in jail. Okay, then what? You end up with J.D. Vance as your vice president. Your vice president. Excuse me. You end up with J.D. Vance as your president. That's what you get. You get an entirely different Justice Department. You get an entirely different government. That's all that really happens. And Bill Clinton isn't going to jail. He's not going to get prosecuted. There's a whole bunch of people probably in those files that will never, ever see a jail cell. Knowing that, and knowing where this train is going, which is nowhere, who cares? Who fucking cares? But apparently this is a dog and pony show to put happiness in somebody's heart. I don't even know. Did you know that China destroyed Starlink with a laser? Did you know that, guys? It's very interesting. In early 2025, Changguan satellite technology demonstrated 100 GPS optical downlink from a satellite to a mobile ground station. Later, a Chinese geostationary satellite transmitted data at 1 gigabyte per second over 36,000 kilometers using a 2-watt laser, showcasing extreme efficiency. The success was enabled by adaptive optics, which correct atmospheric distortion and allow weak laser beams to deliver high-speed signals. This performance exceeds Starlink's average speeds, which operates from low orbit, give or take 550 kilometers. Despite dramatic headlines, the experiment was non-destructive and focused on communication, not military application. The achievement suggests China may reduce reliance on massive low Earth orbit constellations by using fewer, more capable geostationary satellites. China's progress aligns with a broader global shift towards laser-based satellite communication. NASA T-Bird systems hit 200 gigabytes per second. The Deep Space Optical Communications Project transmitted video from millions of miles away. Commercial players like Starlink use lasers for inter-satellite links, but haven't yet extended them to ground stations. So, according to the Daily Galaxy article here, China is making a lot of progress in satellite communications and using 2-watt lasers to do it from a higher elevation. I think that's going to be a concern from a national security standpoint. I think you have to, if you're the U.S., you better get your head out of your ass and figure out how to do this at the same 36,000 kilometer height that these motherfuckers are shooting these things at. Because if we don't, we're gonna be 5 to 10 steps behind these guys in the broader scope of things, and we're going to be relying even more on China than we already fucking do. We already gave them it's our fault. Let me just say that it's our fault. We gave them the ability to get into the game, and we've allowed them like a cancer to metastasize all over the world. And we're just going to we simply have to take much more aggressive steps than we are already taking. As far as I'm concerned in that situation, I just don't think that we should be taking this lying down. Let's put it that way. BBC, Nestlé fires the CEO after funny business with an employee. Uh-oh. Nestle has fired him over a romantic relationship with a direct. Oh boy, excuse me. It's Thursday, guys. It's almost Friday. I'm doing my best. I'm hanging on. Direct subordinate. The Swiss food giant, which makes those Kit Kats. Oh, those Kit Kats. I love me a good fucking Kit Kat. I ain't gonna lie. Dip them in ice cream and shit. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. And Nespresso coffee capsules. They say that the CEO, Laurent Freixi, has been dismissed with immediate effect following an investigation led by the Nestle's chair and lead independent director. The BBC understands the inquiry was triggered by a report made through the company's whistleblowing channel. Nestle chair Paul Bullock said this was a necessary decision. Nestle values and governance are strong foundations of our company. I thank Laurent in his years of service. The relationship was with an employee who was not on the executive board, and the investigation began because it represented a conflict of interest. Mr. Frix, I think it's how you say it. I said Frexy, but I think it's Frex. Had been with the company for 40 years and stepped into the global chief executive role in September. 40 years. Wow. And he pissed it away by fucking the assistant. I don't understand that. They just had that dude at the Coldplay concert getting caught on camera being retarded. Okay. This is the shit that gives you mountains and mountains of YouTube shorts and TikTok videos of a bunch of women talking about how shitty men are these days and how the younger ones aren't interested in the dating pool because we are too strong for them, or they don't want anything to do with us, and blah, 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 all that dumb shit. And these guys are not helping the situation. You are literally married with children. You've been with the company 40 years. You're on the back end. You're coasting to retirement. All you got to do is get to the finish line, collect your fucking pension, go home to your wife, go see your grandkids, go see your kids, and enjoy the back end, the back nine. This fucking guy could not do it. He could not control himself. He had to go and jump the youngster. And the youngster's like, shit, it's the CEO. This motherfucker's got cash he ain't even counted yet. I'm going to go play with this and play in this box. And they got caught. She don't give a fuck. She's got decades ahead of herself. This dude just pissed away a 40-year career. Pissed it away on some young pair of tits. And then you got the other guy. Now the other guy, they were comparable in age, but he had it all. He was the CEO of a company, at a Coldplay concert with a company function, and all he had to do was control himself. And he couldn't do it. He had to hug that girl, grab her chest, squeeze her ass, get caught on camera, and now he's divorced, losing half his shit. His kids he'll hardly ever see, all because he could not control his urges and he could not control his temptations. It's unbelievable how these two cases, in a way, prove some of the women right. Men have become very weak. And we've got to figure out how to solve that problem, guys, or we're going to continue down this bullshit rabbit hole of failure and failure and failure. Now, I mean, I know. The women play a role too. The door swings both ways. But we're talking about these two cases because the men had it all in their hands. All they had to do was run out the clock, take a fucking knee, go home, and enjoy the back end of your lives. And they couldn't do it because they had to get that one moment of awesome. Woo! and then write the check. Unbelievable bullshit. I can't. It's really disgusting. Let's get into this. This story blew my mind. The Independent. The Independent here has a headline that this is a woman, a fugitive accused of killing a woman in a car crash 20 years ago, has finally been captured. 2 decades after a mother of two was killed in an early morning crash in Florida, the woman accused of causing her death and fleeing the country has finally been captured. Her name is Litis Menendez Abdallah. She's 52. She was taken into custody in Mexico and brought back to Florida last week, according to the jail records at Miami-Dade. She faces charges of vehicular homicide and DUI manslaughter in connection with the 2006 crash that killed 39-year-old Gloria Hall, according to prosecutors. Hialeah police say that on August 12, 2006, Menendez ran a red light and struck Hall's vehicle at 4 a.m. Hall died at the scene, and Menendez was airlifted to a different hospital. Hall's brother, Miami police commander, Joaquin, oh boy, I apologize, Miami commander. Your name's hard. Said he still remembers the knock on the door that changed his family's lives forever. He says here in a statement, I got a knock at the door. It's 2 police officers from another jurisdiction, and they're like, do you know Gloria Hall? I said, yes, it's my sister. Why? She was involved in an accident. They're like, she didn't make it, etc., etc. The hardest thing I've ever had to do is sit my mom down and my dad and then her daughters and my nieces, and tell them that your mom is not coming home. He said Menendez Abdallah admitted to being impaired in a statement taken at the hospital. They interviewed her, and she pretty much signed a statement saying that she had been impaired. She had been drinking. By the time Monday rolls around, they go to pick her up, and she is gone. She fled, guys. During a court hearing on Sunday, the prosecutor, Laura Adams, told the judge that Menendez Abdallah was dating someone inside the police department in Hialeah at the time of the crash. She alleges that the boyfriend gave her the heads up about the toxicology, prompting her to leave the country. Prosecutors say Menendez Abdallah left Florida on September 10th of 2006 and lived in Mexico until U.S. Marshals brought her back to Miami on Friday. After 19 years on the run, her defense attorney entered a written plea of not guilty. Holy shit. Okay. Well, a couple weeks ago, we ran into a couple of these lawyers. One was in Hawaii, talking about, let's not give this guy all the grief. He was a hatchet. He did sleep with his wife. He deserves the hatchet. I mean, really, that guy deserved to die. But don't let this guy, it's not really his fault. It's her fault. Like, the defense of attorneys were working hard a couple weeks ago. I cannot wait for this not guilty plea to be explained. I really do. Because this lady gave a statement in the hospital saying I was drunk, I smacked her, I ran the light, and this dude is like, nah, she ain't guilty of shit. Even though she fled the country and she was on the run. Nah. So, okay, here we go. Oh, wow. Okay. Here is a quote. Here's a quote from the brother. Okay, so are we gonna get a statement from the defense attorney outside of not guilty? No, we're not. We're not gonna get that crazy like that. Okay. I will follow up on this because I want to know what is your proof that she's not guilty? So he says here, the brother says there are no words that can express the pain that we have endured for the past 19 years of having Gloria Hall, a mother, daughter, and sister who was taken from us due to the criminal and reckless actions of a person who has shown zero remorse. Now, nearly 2 decades later, we are one step closer to justice. We're elated that justice is finally being pursued. While nothing can erase her pain, nothing can erase our pain knowing that Gloria's case has not been forgotten, brings us strength and peace. Of course, Menendez remains in custody and is expected back on Monday. The end of the okay, all right. I am definitely looking forward to a follow-up on this. Wow. Okay, that's funny shit. Not guilty. Not guilty. How is this lady not guilty? What? I got it. Okay. I got to look this up. Give me a second here. Let me see what happens. I want to know. I want to know. Okay, let me see. Let me see. Let me see. What do we got here? Oh, okay. The statement that they're just challenging the evidence and the validity of. Okay, they're going to challenge the confession, and probably going to say they're challenging. Okay, I got it. All right, here we go. They're saying not guilty, challenging they're going to challenge the confession and some of the evidence. They're basically going to say she was so fucked up in the bed in the hospital she didn't know what the hell she was doing. Blah blah blah. Okay, I got it. Okay, even though she admitted to drinking and obviously fleeing after being tipped off by her policeman boyfriend, is going to probably cause an issue, I'm sure. But they're going to challenge it anyway. Okay, well, I would love to hear how that challenge is put forth. I want to know. I really do, guys. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait. I can't fucking wait to see how that shit plays out. All right, guys. Thank you all for listening on Thursday. Appreciate each and every one of you. Like, share, subscribe, and by all means, 5-star reviews on your Apple, Spotify's, and Podcast Addicts. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Happy Thursday.